Today's topic is the basics of infinite banking. Thank you for watching Bright Horizon Wealth. We teach entrepreneurs and go-getters like you how to own their own financial future with the concept of infinite banking. Please, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every Tuesday and Thursday we come out with brand new videos. So, the question is, what are the basics of infinite banking? The basics of infinite banking can be summed up in two simple words: recapture and reinvest. Even though the process of infinite banking is pretty simple, but sometimes people tend to overcomplicate it. When we say infinite banking, all it implies is taking your savings out from the bank and moving it into a whole life policy. Now, you might ask, why? Before answering that, let me ask you a question. How much interest is your CD paying you? 0.25%, 0.50%, or maybe, if you're lucky, 1%? If you look at infinite banking, it is basically a whole life insurance policy. And this special kind of whole life policy pays a guaranteed compound APR. I'll repeat it. It's a guaranteed compound rate of interest. And if we talk historically, it's been paying way more than your regular bank CD. As you all know, when we say APR, that means annual percentage rate, that an institution pays you in the form of interest. By the way, there are only two places where you can earn compound interest, either a bank CD or a whole life policy. But wait, there's more to it than just making more interest. If you choose the right kind of whole life policy, then you also have a chance to get a dividend check at the end of each year on the top of that guaranteed interest. But it all depends which company you choose. And the beauty of an infinite banking policy is when you take out a loan from here, even after that, they keep on paying you dividends based on the previous amount that you had in the cash value of your policy, and it all happens due to a phenomenon called non-direct recognition. There's another advantage for the cash that grows within the policy. It grows at a tax-free rate. And not only it grows on a tax-free basis, but also you can take distributions from this account on a tax-free basis. You can take a loan out of it tax-free without disturbing the principal. So, in other words, put your savings into your whole life policy. And remember, your goal should be to get in as much money as you possibly can. Let it earn on a tax-free basis. Utilize the money tax-free in the form of a loan whenever you need it. And the best part is, from day one, you'll have access to 60 to 90% of this money. Let me tell you a real-life story. A couple that I know had debt totaling to $120,000. They had all kinds of debt: credit card debt, mortgage payments, personal debt, you name it. When they heard about the infinite banking concept, they immediately put $10,000 into a whole life insurance policy as their annual premium. And then they turned around the same month, withdrew $6,000 from their account, and paid off one of their credit cards that had the highest interest rate of 29%. And over the course of the next 2 years, they pulled their debt down from $120,000 to $80,000. You might ask me, my existing life insurance policy doesn't allow me to do that right away. There I had to wait a long time to have access to the money. Why? Here's the reason. These whole life policies are designed as a cash value policy in mind, whereas a traditional whole life insurance policy is going to take about 3 to 4 years for you to start creating some cash value that you can actually use. Are you with me so far? Now, in the next part, we're going to talk about the process. But before that, let me ask you a question. How do you use the infinite banking system in your life? You might say, I save money there, and also borrow money from them and pay them back, principal and interest. And you're right. You must have thought from time to time that banks are profiting tremendously off of your needs. And you're right there too. So, how about reversing the process? Instead of borrowing money from a bank, what if you start borrowing against your whole life insurance policy and fund your lifestyle, like whether it's buying a car, home, or as small as funding a mini vacation? Now, think for a moment. If I told you that an average American pays to the tune of in between $280,000 and $450,000 just in interest alone to their creditors in their lifetime, will you believe me? If not, just Google it. And that is exactly what the infinite banking process dictates you to do. Stop paying those interests to the bank. So now I think you have a rough idea of what infinite banking is. In its simplest form, instead of getting a CD from the bank, you buy a whole life policy and deposit your money there using it as your own family bank. And by doing so, instead of giving all that interest to the creditor, whether it's credit card, auto, home, or student loan, you take out a loan from your own policy and pay it back to yourself with principal and interest both, just like you pay it back to the bank. This thing alone over the years will make a big difference. And that is the whole premise of the infinite banking concept, or IBC for short. There are 3 legs to the stool of financial freedom: savings, investment, and insurance. The rule of savings says, pay yourself first. The rule of investment says, pay yourself interest. And the rule of insurance says, never lose money. And you can find them all inside a whole life policy. So my question is, how do you get started with it, especially if you don't have the funds available? Follow the fundamental rule. Remember, the rule of savings says pay yourself first. So, this is a tip for the day. Read this book, The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. It will provide you a new compass for your financial journey. Now, I have a question for you. What is the one thing you got from this video today? Please let us know in the comment section. It'll help us improve our message. Thank you for watching our video today. If you want to learn more about it, check out our free on-demand masterclass, which explains it in a more in-depth setting. Please give us a like, subscribe, and share this video with your family. And if you're impatient like me, you can go ahead and book a one-on-one free consultation over Zoom. It's a pro bono service because we love to educate people like yourself, and you don't need to buy anything at the consultation. So, book a free consultation with us by clicking the link below in the description. And don't forget to download our free book called Infinite Banking Secrets.